The speaker needs to bring the bills up now. These are their bills. They have their names on the bills. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Now, listen, they gonna see this and they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills, then they gonna get mad at us. They killing their own bills because they scared of the government. Okay? We don't care.
We need to
bring the goddamn bills up now.
The governor needs to understand that the world is watching California, and this is going to have a direct impact on your friend Kamala Harris, who's running for president. This is going to have a direct impact. So pull up the bills now, vote on them, and sign them.
We have
We've been waiting for over 400 years.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about some drama out in California because the pro-blacks are upset with the so-called pro-black Democrats and Gavin Newsom for blocking key reparations bills. Okay, now we all know that the black activists in California have been begging the state and the local governments for reparations, right? We have covered the stories about the activists going to these conferences and demanding trillions of dollars, okay, upwards of $20+ trillion, $5-10 million each per black person in California because of slavery. Even though California was not a slave state, you know, I guess you could argue that there was slavery going on there anyways, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, we all are familiar with the demands.
I think you know why I'm here. That's why I'm always coming. Where's the money? Where's the cash? Where's the check? Don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid. $5 million. San Francisco's already made a move. $5 million is nothing. And I'll tell you why. If they spread it over 50 years, that's $100,000 a year, and you're in the top tax bracket, 35% Fed, 16.8 California, you'll be lucky if you end up with $40,000 a year. We need to do this. We need to get the money. Where's the money? Let's get the money now. $223,000 for housing is not enough. We're looking at just the redlining. There's predatory lending. If you're African American, chances are you're paying more on your mortgage for the same amount of money as somebody else. And that's not right. So let's get the money. Where's the money?
Okay, so we know that the black Democrats in California, just the Democrat Party in general, they pretend as if they're going to give black people reparations, right? They dangle reparations in front of black people like a carrot, right? And the black activists, they jump up and down, okay? And every time they jump up, the Democrats pull the carrot up and say, whoops, okay, you don't have your reparations yet, but we got them for you, okay? We got your reparations here. Black folks, okay, just keep voting for us, and we'll eventually give you your reparations, right? Now came time for the black Democrats, the Democrat Party, to actually execute on their promise, okay? To actually give out the reparations. And lo and behold, like always, they folded, right? Because there were a few bills regarding reparations that were supposed to be voted on by the state politicians before it could be sent to Gavin Newsom's desk for him to sign. Now, a few of the proposals actually passed. Like, for example, the proposals that don't actually really do anything. Like the state issuing an apology, which doesn't do anything, okay? And some other bill as well, too, to address property that was taken by the government from black people due to eminent domain, right? So there was a couple bills that passed. But the bills that actually really matter, which one was a bill to create some type of agency to oversee the state's efforts to give out reparations. And there was another bill to actually fund reparations. Yeah, those bills, they're not going to reach Gavin Newsom's desk. And the reason why is because the Black Caucus said, you know what, we're not even going to let people vote on it. And the reason why we're not going to let people vote on it is because we're afraid that if it passes and it reaches Gavin Newsom's desk, then he is going to veto it, right? So Gavin Newsom basically told the Black Caucus, hey, if you guys pass this bill, okay, the reparations, I'm going to veto it. And they didn't want Gavin Newsom to veto it because him vetoing it would make the proposal look bad, right? So just an all-around clown show here from the Democrats, right? Doing everything they can not to do what they promised they were going to do, which is to give out the reparations to black folks. And the black people are upset, right? So they decided to protest, okay? They're lashing out at the Democrats. And it's just a really bad look for Democrats going into the election. Again, because they try to use reparations as a reason to get black people to vote for Democrats. And that's why a lot of these black people vote for Democrats, right? Because they think they're going to get reparations. And the most hilarious part about this, okay? The most hilarious part is that Republicans picked up on this. And they decided to troll the Democrats, right, by causing even more chaos by trying to force a vote on the reparations bill. Yeah, so Republican was like, oh, okay, let's actually force this bill on the floor and force Democrats to go on record and to vote against it. Take a look.
Mr. Saley, we are not at that item at the moment. We are still working on the concurrence list.
Pick it up.
We're currently not on that item. We're currently working on the concurrence list.
So will we be getting to that item?
Well, we're currently working on the concurrence list at the moment.
Well, I'll make a motion that we take it up now.
Is there, Mr. Asali is asking to suspend the rules to take it up. Is there a second? No second motion.
Second.
Was there a second? Nope. There's no motion. We're going to go ahead and move to item number 109, AB 544.
Yeah, so optically speaking, this looks real bad, right? You have Democrats who are basically reneging on their promise, like they always do, okay? They were never giving out reparations, and you're a fool if you actually believe that any politician, any political party is going to give reparations, okay? You are a fool if you believe it's going to happen, but this is what they think, right? So again, they get all these black people to support Democrats, and they're upset because they're not getting what Democrats promised them. So without further ado, let's actually play this news clip so you guys get a better understanding of what's going on here.
Over the state capitol, where the legislative session is wrapping up tonight, and lawmakers are deciding the fate of bills that haven't passed yet. We're just minutes away until the California legislative session comes to a close. Both houses had fewer than 200 bills combined left to go through. Some of the bills dealing with reparations. ABC 10's Garsh Balsanga joining us live from the state capitol to explain more on this very busy day. We still see people behind you in the rotunda there, Garsh Paul.
Yeah, Luke, and this place is buzzing with anticipation to try to figure out what is the status of their bill, and we are officially less than an hour away until we find out what the results are going to be of all the bills that they haven't voted on. If it is passed, it is going to go to the Governor Newsom's office to see if he will sign or not, but if it doesn't, it is going to die on the House floor. So we're trying to figure that out. But the biggest buzz in this building were bills that weren't voted on, like funding reparations. The final hours of the California legislative session kicking into overdrive as lawmakers try to get their bills approved. On Sunday, lawmakers passed landmark bills to make amends for racism. The proposal they approved allows for the return of land or compensation to families whose property was unfairly taken by the government, and an informal apology for laws and practices that harmed black people. But the buzz surrounding the reparation bills package was over what wasn't addressed: direct payments.
We laid the foundation that those bills are critically important to, stand up what reparations would be here in the state of California.
State Senator Stephen Bradford authored SB 1403, aims to establish the California American Freedmen Affairs Agency, while SB 1331 funds reparations. Both were not voted on.
We should have gotten it to the governor's desk. He never signaled he would veto the bill. He just said he had some concerns, as they have with many bills. But that doesn't mean you don't move forward with the bills.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Gavin Newsom allegedly wanted to have different legislation. He actually wanted them to pass legislation that would fund reparations, right? So this was the finesse. This is the political finesse, okay? He says, well, no, I don't really want to actually fund reparations, okay? I don't want to put my money where my mouth is at. I want to give about $5 to $7 trillion or so to some state university to continue to study reparations, aka to pay off the woke academics to keep studying reparations, right? They've been studying it for years, right? But they still haven't figured out what they need to figure out yet in order to actually put their money where their mouth is, which they never will do, okay? They're never going to do it. But, you know, this is what Gavin Newsom allegedly wanted, right? So this is why they were afraid to put the vote on the floor, okay, to have the bill voted on, because they didn't want Gavin Newsom to veto it, right? And again, it would be a bad look. Gavin Newsom obviously didn't want them to put the bill on the floor either, because he didn't want to veto it, because it would be a bad look for him, right? So a bunch of cowards, okay? A bunch of Democrats fighting with each other on how to get out of their promises. This is exactly what this is. It's shameful. It is shameful that any black person is still supporting these Democrats thinking that they're going to get a handout, right? That they're going to get a check. Democrats are never going to cut the check, okay? They are the party of slavery. They are the party of Jim Crow. Why the hell would they give you a check, right? If the white man got his foot on your neck, if he is holding you down, if he is upholding these systemically racist laws, rules, and regulations, why the hell do you think they're going to give you a check? I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't know how many times do they have to do this. How many times do Democrats have to break their promises to show you guys that they are not about it, right? They're not going to do it. So, you know, to me, it's just funny. All these people wasting their time, bro. Right? They're just wasting their time.
Because, you know, you can fix them.
The California Legislative Black Caucus pulled the bill because it said the proposal needs more work.
The bills that pass are not reparations. An apology is not reparations.
Chris Lodgeson, a reparation activist with Coalition for Just and Equitable California.
The only bills today that even had a chance of being called reparations or could even get us to reparations are the bills that did not pass. It's one thing if we go out for a vote and we lose. Oh, all right. It's one thing if we go out for a vote, we win, and it gets to the governor's desk, and the governor vetoes it.
Supporters of the reparations say they're not giving up despite the setback.
It has to happen if we're going to have meaningful reparations to the people who deserve it. We're 160 years overdue for this.
And just a few hours ago, there was a glimmer of hope that those two bills that were not heard, they would be heard, but that hope quickly evaporated. So a lot of people that were protesting here disappointed with that outcome. Now, another bill that we're keeping a close eye on is SB 1414. That would make it a felony to purchase a child for sex. That is what we're waiting on over this next hour to see how the House is going to vote. But it's going to be a long 55 minutes that are remaining to see which bill is going to pass and which one will not. Reporting live from the state capitol, Garj Paul Sunga, ABC 10.
Yeah, so those bills did not pass, right? So the black activists did get what they wanted. And again, this is just another example of what I'm talking about. This is why these people, in my opinion, it's a waste of time to continue to beg Democrats for a handout, right? To beg them for reparations. You're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. This is why when you think about policy that is supposed to be good for black people, you need to think bigger than reparations, right? You need to actually use your brain and understand how taxes work, okay? How the economy works, that illegal immigration is bad, right? That you don't want these illegal immigrants coming into the country, diluting your vote, okay? Taking jobs, taking away economic opportunities. Those are the things that you actually really should be worried about, right? You should be worried about how those things work. But see, that's hard, right? That's a hard thing to do. You actually have to really understand politics, okay? And that might lead you to be a Republican, right? That is what happens, okay? But see, when you're a Democrat, the only way you think about things is that, well, the government needs to give me some money, right? The government needs to cut me a check, right? This is how they think, okay? They think the only policies that are going to be beneficial towards them are policies where the government gives them a handout. And it's just not going to happen, right? Look at what the government has handed out to the Native Americans. How has that worked out for them, right? They're not doing too good, okay? So again, money is not going to fix the problems in the black community, right? Now, I'm not saying that the black community shouldn't get resources, okay? But you got to clean up the crime, okay? You got to clean up the culture. And then maybe those resources will actually be effective in regards to solving the problem. But as long as the culture is the way it is, as long as the crime is the way it is, as long as things are the way they are, in regards to how people conduct themselves on a day-to-day basis and their mentality, money's not going to change any of that stuff. But I do want you guys to understand, though, the only handouts that Democrats are giving out to folks are people who are here illegally, okay? Democrats went out of their way to override Republicans to try to get illegals the ability to purchase homes, right? This is what they did. But they can't even bring a reparations bill on the floor for a vote. It tells you where their priorities are at. It's already too late for you. It's already too late. The illegals got more power than these black folks do. That's the honest to God truth. But again, how did they get here? Voting for Democrats, right? Voting for Democrats over and over and over again. So what do you have as a result? You got a bad economy. Crime is out of control. You have people fleeing the state. Businesses fleeing the state. You have a high cost of living. All these things are happening in your state because you decided to continue to vote for Democrats thinking that they're going to give you a check. While the only thing they've done is make your life worse, right? That's what they've done. And until these people reverse course, they need to understand that, hey, listen, these policies are not good for us. You're going to continue to get the same thing. Next year, they'll be having another excuse for why they didn't pass reparations, why they can't fund it. There'll be another excuse next year, right? This is why they wait to the last minute, the deadline, okay, to actually get things done. So they can have an excuse for not doing the things that they don't really want to do. The things they promised you that they would do that they knew they wasn't going to do. But y'all are going to continue to fall for the okie doke every single time, right? Wasting your energy, wasting your time, fighting for something that's never going to happen. But hey, what do I know, right? What do I know? I'm just some dude on the internet. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.